Hey class, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of the module for this week. This week we're going to be talking about correlations and bivariate data. You can see the assigned readings for the week. I have a little PowerPoint out there for you. And I've also made an additional document that discusses some other correlation coefficients that you may come into. And then you can see the readings for both the Graviter Walno and the Lane online stat book. Here's just a copy of the PowerPoint. And if you open the PowerPoint actually in PowerPoint, you'll see some extra notes that are in the notes section that you don't view actually on this section. And then here are my notes on just some additional correlation coefficients. The main one we're going to talk about this week is what's called Pearson's R. You might hear it called the zero order correlation coefficient. It's probably the most common correlation coefficient you're seeing. It's used when you have interval ratio type data, but you can see from this little matrix here that there are all kinds of different correlation coefficients, and it's really determined by the type of data that you have. Two ordinal variables. You could use, say, Spearman's rho. Spearman's rho also works for interval ratio data as well, if one is ordinal and one is interval ratio. And then I try to give you a little description of some of these other correlation coefficients, so you can read about that there. I also have several guides on how do you get correlations out of SPSS. And so you can see the guides here, which I'll walk through. You would click on Analyze at the top, Correlate, and then Bivariate. And you would bring over the variables you want. You would select, if Pearson is default, you can get Kendall's Tall or Spearman's Rho out of there too. And so you can follow along, and I've kind of annotated the output there. Also show you on how you can get the regression line on in the graphs in SPSS. And you can kind of think of the regression line in this case as just like the measure of central tendency for the plot, like what one straight line best represents the relationship between these two variables. There's also a regression procedure, but that's kind of beyond the scope of this class. But that's another way of getting the regression line as well. There's some really helpful YouTube videos that I've linked to this week. I think this video is a really great introduction into correlation and linear regression. It's kind of short. Here's another just intro into correlation and how to run a correlation and get a scatter plot, and how to get a scatter plot in SPSS basically, and how to put the regression line in there. So all that's available to you. Also, don't forget, just like every module, there's a quiz and a data analysis assignment. If you have any questions about the assignment or the quiz or anything this week, please post your questions to the message board or shoot me an email. Thank you.